I recognize this place. I know these streets. I walked upon them when they were strewn with bodies of the innocent dead, broken lives scattered among the bullets and the blood, the stones and the shattered glass of a day like no other. January 30th, 1972. The tragedy endures. The wounds remain. The sorrow still wakes. I don't come here to cast the shadow of the dead upon long, grieving hearts. I do not turn away from grief, for she is the child of love and loss. And across the path of our story, we must meet her again, upon the old kiln fields we know too well. I do not turn away from any of it. Not from pain, nor death, nor suffering, not from injustice, nor malice. I come with light, with a story to tell, a story of voices that set a song into motion this many years past. A song for renewal, for freedom and justice. And it is a song that rings out still. Its melody and strength rise upwards, forwards, ever onwards, towards days of quiet peace. I come to shine that light upon the lives of those who were lost, and upon hearts forever changed by the ruthless outworkings of that fateful Sunday. To offer observance to their humanity, their bravery, their innocence. To hear again their laughter. To walk with them again as I once walked with them. For I am William McKinney, Craigan man, civil rights marcher, lost son of Derry.
I, William McKinney, do not accept, for you are no challenge. Hold that minute.
Willie, Tom, your tea's ready. Come on, Willie, stop playing dead. I'm starving.
Have you no mercy? I'm starving too. Come on.
Ring a rosies, a pocket full of posies. Ashes, ashes, we all fall down. Ring a rosies, a pocket full of posies. Ashes, ashes, we all fall down.
Is that you all packed for Derry, Father Daly?
It is. I will miss you all. I really enjoyed my time here in Castlederrick.
And now you're away up to Bishop Farron to save the big city?
He's anointed me curate of St. Eugene's Cathedral, Mrs. Sweeney, nothing more.
I worked at Bishop Farron up in Derry for years.
Oh?
Derry's a different tumbler of stout altogether.
How so?
Well, for a start, the phone and doorbell in that parochial house ring from morning to night, and Bishop Farron may as well have lived inside that confession box. I used to have to bring his sandwiches into it.
Now, Mrs. Sweeney, we every one of us need a wee bit of spiritual guidance from time to time. The people of Derry and the Bogside are no different.
Aye, but that's a queer baptism of fire, feller. But they're a good, honest people, mind.
Well, I pray to God to give me the time of day.
Go easy on yourself, feller. There's many that'd lay a breaking burden on the willing horse.
It is your fucking fault. Get up there. Go! Hurry up! Go! Come here. your arm. Fucking brat lover. I got through my training with the Parachute Regiment 1st Battalion. I'm in.
Are you really going to be a soldier, Alfie?
A peacekeeper, me old China. A peacekeeper.
Come on, you! Time to go. We've been deployed on a tour to Northern Ireland. A crack at the paddies.
Now we're jabbing, lad.
Now remember, always have your guard up.
And always be watchful of that unexpected shot.
Oh, come on now, Nash. I know there's to be TV cameras at the protest, but there's no need to get a bad dose of the head swells.
You think I'm washing my back and putting on the Ritz for news cameras?
Well, I'm guessing you're not dressing up like the Earl of Stanley's walk for your job at the docks. So what's the story?
What's the story? Girls, fluff, damsels in distress, that's the story.
Eh?
Michael Kelly, my poor misguided young friend.
Don't even.
Every sinner knows that the protests and the riots are better than any dance in Derry for picking yourself up a nice wee Colleen. It's nailed on.
Let me come you.
Do you still get nervous before the marches, Paddy?
Oh, I'm well used to it now, Barney.
Aye, we'll be all right as long as them soldiers behave themselves.
Do you remember the Ash Wednesday? We were all leaving chapel after getting our ashes and we saw that Brit foot patrol.
They didn't know what was going on. They thought we were all in a cult, and that one Brit on the radio.
Delta 1 to Oscar Charlie, there are large crowds swarming the streets with strange black symbols on their foreheads.
Even the women and children. Advise quickly, over.
We fair put the fear of God in them that day.
Would you look at the Hollywood style on you, Alana Burke? Is that new?
My mommy got it for the day. Now I just need a good excuse to debut it to my adore in public.
Tell your mama I have a wee bit of scone bread for.
Thanks, Mrs. Theory.
I could bake far too much. Even my own 14 couldn't get till the finish of it.
Craig will never starve with you by Peggy.
Remember who we are here. An elite, no-nonsense fighting unit. The pride of the British Army. And it's our job to give these yabbos a wake-up call.
Yes, sir. We hit them, and we hit them hard.
The IRA will find out soon enough what it means to be up against us.
On the right is just teenagers throwing stones. Don't speak until you're spoken to. I do apologize, Lieutenant Colonel Wilford.
It's quite all right, Lance Corporal. New recruit.
Yes, sir. First tour.
Now listen here. This is a guerrilla war situation. These rioters are cover for the IRA. Murderers who hide in their no-go areas, only crawling out to send your comrades back home in body bags. They are terrorists and terrorist enablers. Is that clear? Good.
We'll give them the same welcome they got in Belfast, sir.
Oh, Willie, I'm well nervous about meeting your family, especially your wee mommy.
You'll sweep them off their feet the same way you did with me. Come on now, Elizabeth.
Here, you better not tell her we met at Borderlands.
Elizabeth? 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 So much time has passed. 50 years have faded since I danced with her, since I walked these old streets, a city proud and strong, rising to a calling to stand for what is right, though winter winds blow cold. What could we have been if fate had given peace to us? A city building hope as one in this land, in this place, in these hearts. hearts of ours. If all had stayed their guns, if peace had saved the fallen, to walk in summer days, in laughter and in love, I wanted all of life, a future for our children, a city free from strife. 1,000 dreams were mine. What could we be still if justice gives its hope to us? Together we can still build peace with open hearts, open hands, through quiet, gentle days. That morning was cold and crisp, an invigorating winter's day. Like I did every Sunday, I went to Mass. You see, when you were younger, did you just have to tell your ma who was saying Mass just to prove you were really there? Same. From early, I could see them in the distance. They were erecting blockades, talking on radios, taking up positions, helicopters, Saracens, pigs. It didn't look like a city getting ready for a peaceful march. It looked like a war zone. When they finished serving communion, I saw another priest I knew well, Father Tom O'Gara, enter the altar and whisper in Father Daly's ear. Father Daly put himself on door duty, tried to usher people home, calm them as they walked out of prayer and into a military presence.
Now just ignore them now, Mr. Doherty.
It's a disgrace. What are they at? Up torturing people at their place of worship?
Now, Father O'Gara, we must show restraint. Just use words of calm. Get our people home safe, away from any possible altercations.
Aye, that's all they're after. Up there with their jackboots on, stomping on people's rights and antagonising ordinary folk. They're out there looking for bother. Don't even look at them, Mr. Cullen. Sure, they put you off your Sunday dinner.
Tom, we have to show
How are you, Mr. and Mrs. Devine? Sure, there's an awful sour smell stinking up the derriere the day, isn't there?
Please.
Here. Have you no shame? This is sacred ground. Our Lord's house. Away and point your gun at one of your own.
Take a step back.
Or what? Oh, you going to shoot me?
Take a step back. I won't warn you again.
Look at you like the fucking Badlam at Juba Hill outside a chapel. What are you here for? Eh? Guns drawn, intimidating women and children. What are you here for?
We're in position to take control of an illegal march. That's all you need to know. Now, take a step back.
You'd need to take control of that five-a-side football above your top lip first. Even shaven yet? Stood there in your tin pot uniform.
All right. You've already been warned. See? Even the priests are thugs.
Thugs. Says him stood on foreign soil, with his face blackened for war and gun pointed at innocent folk. Away and do something with your life.
Come on, Tom. Don't rise to it.
Wait till I tell you, Ollie. These boys know exactly what they're at.
Listen to your flock, Father. If there's any sense hiding behind that collar.
Lucky for you, I'm wearing this collar. Look at you. Like Captain Mannering without the brains.
I enjoyed that, Tom. What were you going to do? Bless him to death?
Look, I'm sorry, but there is absolutely no need for any of it. It's an invasion of holy ground, so it is.
I know, but there's no use in us making things worse. Just settle yourself.
Speaking of invading holy ground, what was the sermon about, McKinney? Hey? And when was the last time you were in confession? Oh, this one would be in for a good Our Father.
This is why he became a priest. See the things he got up to when we were younger. Shocking.
What are you looking at?
Come on, Tom. Would you calm down? Go on in.
I just love to see how brave they are without their guns. Hope all's well at home, Willie.
He is a good priest. He's just a little animated with all the goings on. Sure, even our Lord had his moments.
Sure, don't know him my whole life. No. We used to play together before my man and dad moved us to Craigan. He hasn't changed much.
Ah, so even when he was younger, he was
animated.
Right.
Aye. William McKinney. Willie, to those that know me.
Well, God bless you, Willie. Come on. You know, Father O'Gara is right in his own way. The army turning this place into a garrison town is only going to stoke the fires.
They're trying to ban people from marching for civil rights. That's at the heart of it.
Ah, no, rightly. I wonder sometimes if they've any desire for peace at all.
Or equality.
Look, loyalists are threatening to attack the march. Their leaders and them supposedly Christian men are calling for any breach of the ban to be dealt with in a brutal fashion now. On the morning of the march week to this, a military operation that would shame the D-Day landings. Just what are they expecting?
What are they planning, you mean?
Oh, there's something brewing, all right. There's an atmosphere hanging over this wee town, something ugly and frightening.
Well, for our side, we've called for nothing but a peaceful march. The organisers, McCrory and Cooper, they underlined that. They had it on the front page of the Derry Journal and the Irish News. The message couldn't be clearer.
And are you covering the march for the paper then, Willie?
I have a cine camera. I'll be filming what I can.
Well,
just not officially.
Be careful. These paratroopers are gung-ho. They've got brutality in them. Give them no call to turn it on you.
I already felt their brutality at McGilligan Strand last
week. That's why we have to show a reason face to the world.
We can't become them. But we can't lie down to them.
William, any provocation is just going to give them an excuse.
My energy is on a peaceful march and a virtuous message to all that'll hear it.
I'm worried there are other elements who might think differently.
Well, let's just hope they keep their powder dry today of all days.
Well, it's not just them, I mean. Some people who should have known better were openly jubilant about the death of those two RUC officers mercilessly murdered at the hands of that IRA ambush just up the street from this cathedral Thursday past.
Another reason why the Brits are sniffing around.
The police and army saturated the entire area here for hours after that ambush, and now they're deployed all over the whole town. The mood across the entire north is on a knife edge as it is. Reach out, can you sense the storm? A cruel storm, it's closing in. Hearts against each other, where mercy falters. Why can't we see now? Only love will bring us peace. Each and every day I pray to all who would hear. Don't lose your faith, for without it we are lost, stripped of dignity. On bended knee we bow, on bended knee is how we show them and grace, but where is grace? Please show your face this day. Still now, can you feel the rain? New tears from a lightless sky. Hearts must beat with kindness, shine light on blindness. Then guns have no place. Instead, we'll carry grace. Each and every day, I pray for grace. See, there's them that lose themselves behind the cover of cause, Willie. They get pulled apart from who they are. And there's many a soldier with badge, uniform, and loaded gun that hides the boy and the man within. A soldier who finds himself on streets he doesn't recognize. His boots on the ground and his finger on a trigger. Confusion etched upon him.
That's close enough.
Look at the sweat on your face. The man betraying the soldier. Here, wipe your brow.
I said that's close enough.
Oh, easy, son. I'm not your enemy. Unless your enemy is the pity of war.
What do you mean?
I mean humanity lost. I have seen too much it. Those who freeze their heart to a stone. By choice, they made themselves immune to pity and whatever moans in man. Before the last sea and the hapless stars. Whatever mourns when many leave these shores. Whatever shares the eternal reciprocity of tears.
That's that poet geezer.
Ah, war poet.
Wilfred Owen.
That's him. You know, I used to read his stuff when I went fishing.
Aye, well, he wasn't much older than you when he was killed amid the tragedy of warfare just a week before the silence of the Great War.
What do you mean he was a soldier himself?
A soldier like you. But he was a man who understood the pity of war.
Oh, I didn't know that.
How many times do I have to tell you? Don't let your guard down or engage with these paddies. Doesn't matter if they've got a collar or not. The whole lot of them are worth the watching.
Sir!
Just remember who this priest flock is. The same scum that spit at us, throw piss at us, shoot at us.
Sir!
And remember why you're here. To bring law and order back to these lawless goons. Not to listen to their propaganda, men.
Propaganda? I was only talking to the boy about...
Boy? He's a trained soldier of the 1st Battalion of Her Majesty's Parachute Regiment. And you were filling his head with some piss about the pity of war. more's the pity, they won't take our leash off and let us finish this war. It's war what keeps the peace.
Listen, Dee. You would think we were bringing a standing army, arranging to meet in some battlefield. We're marching for rights, for decency, that's all.
You bring that to the streets, and you face what's coming to you. War or not. I've had enough of listening to you and your wingman. I'm here to enforce the law, come hell or high water.
Are you going to Craigan for the start of the march then, Father?
Well, I have to give attendance to a funeral for a wee woman from Abbey Street, God rest her. After that, I'll call on the elderly in the housebound round Roswell Street. And then I'll get to the march as it moves down the town.
War. I don't understand. Isn't it just a lockdown on a civil rights march?
Civil rights. You want me to take you over to the funerals of your comrades, shot in the back by spineless terrorists in these godforsaken wastelands? Let you talk to the widows and mothers about rights, eh? You want that?
No. Lieutenant Colonel Derek Wilford, commander of the 1st Battalion Parachute Regiment.
Sir!
The situation has been made perfectly clear. In this current climate of ongoing insurrection in Northern Ireland, all marches and parades have been banned. This planned gathering in Londonderry on Sunday is a direct breach of that order. Any involving themselves in an illegal march shall be dealt with accordingly. For much too long, the rule of law in this province has been trampled upon. In West Belfast and in Londonderry in particular, hooligans, rioters, and paramilitaries feel that they can do as they please. Ordinary, decent citizens watch in outrage as television images show soldiers and police officers being forced to retreat in the face of an increasingly lawless element. Well, we are here to re-establish law and order. Let me leave no doubt on this point. If any violence occurs in the streets of Londonderry on Sunday, the responsibility lies with those who insist upon defying a ban on a prohibited march. Their organizers know well that we are in a fraught climate of high tension. Their devil-may-care attitude to defy the rule of law is reckless, and I say again, the sole responsibility for any incident that may occur on Sunday lies squarely with them. Finally, let me assure those intent upon stirring trouble. My men won't hide behind shields like Aunt Sally's. My battalion will respond to violence like they have been trained to do, as soldiers.
I think this one needs more training. Scatter! This is no city. This is a battle zone. Kneel! Bang! Kill! There's guns round every corner. Kneel! Bang! Kill! There's creeping cowards hidden, protected by that crowd! Kneel! Bang! Kill! Bang! Bang! You're dead. Bad shooting, soldier. The second you underestimate this dirt, you die.
Sir!
So what's it gonna be, you traitorous little shit? Are you gonna honor the badge you swore to serve?
I'm here to serve the badge!
Elizabeth, I didn't expect to see you at this time. Didn't we say we'd meet after the march?
I needed to talk to you before that.
All right. Well, do you want a wee cup of tea and a biscuit? My ma's got the good ones put away for you.
What's she like? I know she only gets them out for me. Sure, I hear her telling your wee brawler off for sneaking at them.
Don't worry about that wee shite. And if that John boy calls me Joe 90 one more time, I'm going to lock him in the coal shed.
It's a mortal son. He's only away and acting the whack.
He'll be grand. They'll harden him up. So you needed to talk?
It's the march.
Not this again.
Yes, well, like this again. I'm really worried. I haven't stopped thinking about it. Look at the bother at McGilligan Beach
There's
last
always
week.
bother, Elizabeth. Civil rights are not one easy. Them that's in power won't loosen their grip without us making the noises we do. I told you that.
Right, but the footage you took at McGilligan, them powers mean business. John Hume was there. Why is he not going today?
John Hume is an astute man. He'll make his move when the move is right. And it's just the usual old toot. They're trying to intimidate us into giving up. We won't become them.
When you came back from McGilligan, you were badly shaken.
I was surprised, is all.
You stood in this house shaken, soaked to the skin and bleeding.
It was only scratches.
Aye, and there was me cleaning your cuts and washing you up before your ma saw you.
Don't be bringing a storm to me, ma.
I'm your fiancé. I'm worried too. I'm worried for you. For us.
I know you are, love, but you're getting all worked up over nothing.
Over nothing? You told me what those animals did. Firing rubber bullets at your faces. Heads busted with nail-studded truncheons, battered and bleeding protesters running under the mouth of the foil, having to be hauled out before they're drowned. And the threats about today?
Threats?
What the powers said to you.
That. Sure, we're used to that, I'll guff.
Stop playing this down, Willie.
But we're always getting threats on the marches and the sit-down protests and that. That's all they know how to do. Batter and threaten people looking their God-given rights.
This is different, and you know it. You told me so.
I was knackered and annoyed. You know to pay no heed to me when I'm tired.
No, Willie. You told me that the powers were vicious, brutal, golden knees, making specific threats about this march today, saying how they're going to get the ones in Derry. And I've seen them this morning out in the rooftops, glaring through the sights of the ones already gathering.
That's just part of their intimidation tactic. It's not going to work. There'll be thousands of us in broad daylight.
Aye. And there in the middle of the crowds will be you with that sunny camera. Making yourself a target.
I have to go. I have to film it. After what happened last week, I have to film it.
I don't want you to go. I have a really bad feeling about it.
My wee Nostradamus. It would fit you better if you could tell me a couple of winners for the racing.
I'm being serious, Willie.
You know I'm going. It's important to me. It's important to Derry, to all people who believe in civil rights.
There's young ones going. That's who wanes. Thinking they're out for the day's crack, not realising the danger they're in. Empires are vicious brutes capable of anything.
They're just trying to rattle us. And don't be too quick to think the young ones are just going for the crack. They're more clued in than you think. They know there's something in the Derry air. We're on the world stage here, Elizabeth. We're making history. We're changing lives and futures for the better.
And what about our future? What about that?
Don't you dare! You fell in love with me because of who I am. Are you asking me not to be me? This is for our future. For us to live a life in peace, to build a world around us that doesn't have the hand of oppression on our shoulder, nor on the shoulders of any children God sees fit to bless us with.
I want you to be around to raise our children, Willie. There's no peace to be won this day, not this day. They're out there baying for you. I've seen them.
What sort of life is it for us or for our children if we crumble now? What sort of father would I be? This is the people's movement, Elizabeth. It's civil rights. The right for all to be treated equally, Catholic and Protestant, and like we all march together, the spirit of one.
There's other people carrying that message, Willie. Politicians, writers. You've done enough. Stay home today.
I won't have done enough until I see the end of oppression and inequality, until the likes of you and me are not treated like second-class citizens in our own land, our own time. That's what drives me, our future, me and you. That's why I march.
I know why you march. It's just, can you not just miss one? Just the
No,
day's
I
march.
can't. Martin Luther King said, "We will not be satisfied until justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream." Well, the people of Derry are a mighty stream. It's going to take some damn to stop us. Every day, the shadow of oppression finds us. Every day, we struggle for civil liberty, but I've learned to find a strength in hardship, find resolve though I'm tired and heartsick. In the calling of our lives, it's our future that I see. So I march for brighter days ahead, my love. On this hour, our people strive for human rights here. On this hour, to move from darkness into light. And on that day, I promise you, our children of peace, what will you do? Think of them as we make our stand. It's justice we demand. We must march to have our voices heard, my love.
Willie, you're looking for harm this day. There's soldiers on rooftops, they line the way. You say you want children, then prove to me. My heart beats with your heart, please stay with me. These strangers mean danger here today.
Every day, our call for civil rights grows louder. A passion play. Please have courage in this hour. The power of truth, it walks beside us. The might of right will protect and guide us. In the calling of our lives, it's our future that's at stake. For our children, we must hold our strength as one. Here today, there's something in the air, I feel it.
Everywhere, this city wears the thread of blood.
We cannot fall to doubt and fear.
But tragedy is drawing near.
Today we rewrite history, my love. I would never leave you alone in this world. This will be a good day. A day when the people of Derry make history. We shall overcome.
Well, at least give that sunny camera a proper wipe. You haven't had it off you since Christmas. My intrepid reporter.
Printer at the Journal. But someday,
That Derry Journal's lucky to have you.
I tell them that.
As long as you get them holidays for the wedding and the honeymoon, that'll do for now.
I hear Cullibaggy is lovely in the summer.
I'll call you back at you. Do you want a toasted bat?
No, it's time I get going. But I'll see you tonight at 8 o'clock under the Guildhall.
I'll be waiting. You're not going out like that, are you?
What do you mean?
Jesus, Wally, have a tatter or what? It would find her you out there, but on your big coat. You'll
Okay,
catch your death.
Mammy.
Typical dairy man. You need a good woman to keep you right.
Are you coming?
Sure, don't I have a fancy wedding to plan? Come here.
Jesus, yourself. How are you? Oh, good to see you, huh? You marching?
Well, all good. I'm watching myself.
Good woman yourself.
These boys.
Jeez.
I'm even getting all photo of you.
Oh, there he is. How's Willie? Got the old faithful camera with you, see then?
I wouldn't be without it. It's been a week.
Aye. Aye, right enough. The Empires weren't taking any prisoners at the anti-internment march. That's why John Hume's not here today. And him a founding member of the civil rights movement.
He's a man deeply rooted in his conscience.
Aye, well, you should be here all the same. There's no good to be had in wavering now. For me, this is a make or break day for the release of the internees. Can't just back off.
As much as Hume will be missed, we have to march.
And we can't react. No matter what they throw at us, any trouble, any incident, any violence, we'll leave that to their British soldiers and their wee cheerleaders.
The day if they show their true face, the whole world will be watching.
I'm telling you.
How's it, man? Yes, Mr. McGuigan, how are you?
Barney.
Jesus, some crowd, isn't there? One's down from Belfast too. Must be thousands upon thousands here. It would do you proud.
Aye, well, you were just saying, even with a crowd this big, we'll have to make sure everyone knows to keep it peaceful, even on the provocation.
They're announcing it over the speakers again shortly, and you stewards will have to keep an eye out too, Paddy.
Dairy people know the score. You don't need anything else when you've the truth in your pocket.
And that's just how we'll play it. Not a flinch, even if the bastards charge us.
But you know they'll try and goad them young bucks.
They'd love nothing more than a lot of ballers starting from our side.
Aye, yeah, you better believe those hardliners like Faulkner and the wee Billy Craig boy who are counting on it. Anything to justify the violence they're calling for.
The likes of them have called for the Brits and the RUC to batter us off the streets for even daring to breach the ban, no matter how peaceful we are.
Barney, it's legalized terrorism.
And they call us the troublemakers.
Why? It's all in the news. There's only one version you hear, but we're part of a bigger movement you can't talk or twist down. Make no mistake about that.
They'll have ballers shouting us all down. Especially you, Paddy.
Oh, they'd have to kill me.
They'd have to kill us all.
They'd have to kill me and you together, Barney, huh?
Was it love at first sight, man? They'll not shut this spirit down, nor keep Derry quiet. That's one sure thing. Look around, yous. No matter what happens, do you think these people are just going to fall to silence like lambs? Do you think the people of Derry ever take anything lying down?
Never have, never will.
How's the form? Mrs. Peggy, dearie. You got the bacon again?
Ah, you know me, Barney. Can't leave the house without a freshly baked scone in my hand.
Here, missus. Them cakes look the part. Come on, feed the 5,000. Just not the Christian thing to do. It's a Sunday.
Oh, will I? That's for me more down the bog, not the likes of you, Jackie Dotty, or the rest of the Ant Hill mob.
Break out the cake, Mrs. Deary.
I'll break out your bakes.
Bakes? Let's discuss the word bakes. I mean, to a tourist, you know what I mean? What does it mean?
It means I'm going to stick my toe up your hole.
You're not pulling a fast one, this, Miss Deary. Aye, we're not saving it for them. Come on, she's there.
By the look of them, they've had a few too many Sunday dinners in them as it is.
And that's only counting a day.
Well, what's in it for me?
If you cut us off a couple of wee crafty slices, we'll do your shopping for you.
Find you all the bargains.
You couldn't find your forehead with a flashlight and a map.
Let's discuss that. I mean, to a tourist,
We'll
you know what I mean?
shed for you.
You haven't held a paintbrush in your puff.
Our Jackie here is an artist.
Oh, surely to God, aye. It is a holy wonder he hasn't been asked to redo the Sistine Chapel. Now, away with us before I warm me boot in your arses, mongers.
That cake would lift the heart of thee.
I know. The more I think on it, I should have made myself some grub for the march.
You, McGrub? You bother making ice cubes?
It's not his fault. The recipe confuses him.
What are you on about? This day last week, I made my ma a 2-course meal.
A boiled egg and a Mars bar.
Or what about the time he was making a trifle and the recipe says to chill for 1 hour? So he goes to the bog in for 3 pints.
At least I'm not a gulping like you two gannets.
Oh, says the foil hull cement mixer.
Gulping? I'll have you know that we are refined eaters.
Aye, everything you's find, you's eat. Don't forget, Kelly, I heard your ma getting on to you about your midnight feeds.
If we're not meant to eat at night, why'd they put a light in the fridge?
That's the thinking that'll get you straight to the top, Kelly.
Mensa will have you earmarked for their next yearbook.
I might be a trainee machine mechanic now, but I'll work my way to the top. Don't you worry about that.
Work. You call what you do work? You want to try a couple of shifts down the docks with me and my dad? That'll tighten you.
With your dad, Alex, can fair put a shift in. But you, should the Catholic Church has you torture for a bottle of your sweat? They reckon there's a cure on it.
Every beat of your sweat's a prisoner. You're out lazy, you wouldn't be able to sleep if there's a shovel in your house.
Here, I'm not lazy. I just engage in selective participation.
Is that what they're
I
calling
work for the weekend. I need to preserve my energy for more enjoyable pursuits.
You need your beauty sleep. Didn't want the woman folk of dairy going into a mass panic now.
Speaking of women folk, like I promised my young trainee in the art of love, Michael Kelly here, there's some talent at this march today.
You can say that again. It's like the Bishop's Field catwalk up here.
Aye. Like you wouldn't see better in Paris or London or the back of the Craigan shops.
Telling you now, boys, play our cards right here. We could be looking a full Kurt and a knee trembler before the day's out.
Aye, even better if we get a girl involved.
Look at the cut of that wee darling there. How you doing, love? Maybe I could take you out and show you the time of your life.
You're gonna do your usual. A mineral, a smoke, and a lucky bag.
Don't listen to that gasser. I'll show you the world. Well, upper and lower Craigan at least. I have dual citizenship, you know.
Well, you need to watch yourself, nice. That's her dad sitting beside her.
Yeah. Mister? It's a good day for the, isn't it, the marching, I mean. That's a lovely wee girl. It's a credit to you.
Wind it on a bit, Nash. We worried about more than just the Brits today.
Give your worry a shake, would you? What about that wee starlet? Mother mercy. She's a vision.
Aye, and you're a fucking sight.
No, look at them locks. Look at them locks. Reminds me of the wee cut I met at the Stardust a few weeks back, remember? She was all over me. She had long flowing hair, all down her back.
Aye, none in her head, just all down her back.
Now as I remember, out dancing, I wanted to cover her face in kisses. When I got her into the light, I just wanted to cover her face.
Like you're a portrait.
What I'm saying here is you gackawacks are just proving my point. We drag ourselves out our kips to get the dough for the weekend. That's how it is.
Well, that's not me. I love my work.
What? You could lie down beside it all day?
No, it's just that I'm easy pleased. Bar of chocolate in my pocket from my ma, and God's day ahead of me. I'm as happy as a sandboy.
You know something? You have a point there. Looking around this feed today, people at the sharp end of things, them still laughing, still getting on with stuff.
Look at the men he's turned out in their Sunday best.
Aye. Some have decided against the whole Sunday best carry on.
Especially Steptoe's long-lost relative over there.
The main deal is that there's women and there's girls. Even Crabbit does. All here.
They're all out together. Muckers, nibbers, families. It's going to be a good old day.
That is that. Sure, what do you want from life anyway? As long as you've a body you can slag, and you know he'll always have your back, then you're one step up on the entitled title pups and the landed gentry fighting over muck.
As long as you've a bite in your belly,
as long as there's a laugh on the telly, and your dad's in good form, and your bed's good and warm, sure you're halfway to heaven already.
There's nothing like an egg beat up in a cup, or a swally with your boy down in the bar, or your ma with a head dragging you out of bed, or your dog giving you a result.
Oh, and it all fades beside a good Kurt, from a fine-looking wee bit of skirt. From the crack into the bog, you can't beat a snug, or the payoff that comes from a flirt. As long as you've a mucker you can slag, and you know he'll always have your back. They can keep their crowns, their palaces, their grounds. We'd swap it all for our fierce bit of crack. Jesus! We'd swap it all for a fierce bit of crack.
Listen to the racket of these likely lads. I know young Michael Kelly's mother. She worries wild about him. And as sure as there's a gate in Shipney Street, she'll have warned him off this march. Young Kelly, does your man know you're here?
Aye, she sure does, Mr. McGuigan.
Does she now? I must ask her tomorrow when I see her.
Well, we're not actually going on the march. What I mean is, we're not going the whole way. Maybe just down the bottom of the hill a wee bit.
And your ma's okay with you marching down the hill, is she?
Aye, more or less, aye.
Tell the truth and shame the devil. I know rightly, her heart's broke, fretting over your safety.
Fair enough. My ma said she's that worried about me that if she catches me on the march, she'll break me 2 arms and legs.
Ah, proper order. We'll be going home early anyway. Always play me records on a Sunday.
And I do wee turn on my guitar.
Thanks for the warning.
Would you listen to the man in black? You can hear your Johnny Cash record circling halfway round Circular Road. Or worse, you squawking on that accordion.
I'll have yous know, I play the accordion and mandolin to a very high level.
We're just piling down to hear the speeches and that, and then that's us.
We'll go to the Guildhall then, head.
You think we all came up the foil in a bubble?
Take some size of a bubble to carry his boys.
We'll go as far as the Brandywell, then chuck it.
What are you hunker sliding for? For God's sake, the whole town's going.
Right enough, the only ones that aren't going are either dog sick or they were nabs swinging out their bedroom window.
Or they're out the back roads practicing their rock throwing.
Now, boys, I'm a steward at this march, and I'm telling you, there'll be no rock throwing today. Isn't that right now? Exactly, there better not be. And there's to be no aggro at aggro corner.
10 shillings, says every last one has been told not to go.
We wouldn't want to take a week's wages off you, Mr. McGuigan.
You'd be doing all right, William Nash, if you were tuppence behind me, I'll tell you that for nothing.
He's a foreman in them shirt factories, and sure, you're scarcely a nurse in your trousers.
I'll have you know, this here, it's brand new. In my arse. Stole the show at my brother's wedding this weekend.
Hey, the point is, I bet my tank, yous have all been warned off going.
I take it right now, lad.
Exactly, sometimes life just hits you a queer stever in the arse, boys.
Well, if it ever happens to you two, there's enough padding down there to cushion the blow.
All right, that'll do you, sir. Seriously, trying to catch us. And anyway, so what harm are we doing?
This march is for our rights as well.
And we're just here to see the crack.
Boys, the last things you'll see today is crack. This is serious business.
We know. Sure, it's all over the news.
Aye, well, I don't want to see you on the news, do I? You can march the route, right? And then away home with you.
We know. Is that your own camera, Willie?
It is, young Duddy, aye.
Some job, hey?
Strike a boxing pose, Jackie, and the professor will film us.
Ding, ding. Round 2. Dirty Brits versus the Fighting Irish.
I'll have your brother Charlie box your ears, Nash, if you call him a professor again. Only me own get away with that, carry on.
This young Jackie boy a boxer, Willie, is he? Hey?
He is, aye.
Hey.
He's boxed all over Ireland too.
And Liverpool there as well.
I see he's got a sweat for the Munich Olympics this summer. Look out, Charlie.
You'll be a champion someday, Duddy, if you can knock that scallywag out of yourself.
He fairly knocked the scallywagon out of that wee English fellow over in Liverpool. Maybe we should send you down the town to sort the Brits out in your Jackie.
Right, look, time to come off. Oh.
Jesus, I'll be glad to get moving. You could snap my feet off the ankles.
Have you no blood in you? Sure, it's a beezer day out.
If you're a snowman.
You're giving your age away here, Mr. McGuigan.
What age is he? 100?
No, reckon he's approaching 50.
But from which direction?
Mr. McGuigan, is it true that when you were a wee boy, the river Foyle was just a puddle?
And the Dead Sea was only sick?
Away and pickle your heads in porridge. Paddy, come here. Yous have a long life ahead of yous, boys. Paddy, call a doctor.
Right, time to shift. Go.
Aye, Captain.
You rolling, are you?
Good to go.
No doubt you'll be scrambling up lampposts and trees again today, will he?
You know me, Paddy. Anything for the best view. The mood in the march was determined. Serious, but largely joyful. We were aware of the tension in the air, but we kept spirits up and resolve high. The march's predetermined route took us from Craigan, down South Way, to the Brandywell and the Bogside, then sharply up Weston Street. We were aiming for the Guildhall.
Hey, everybody! The march is not for the Guildhall anymore. It's to go back to Free Dairy Corner.
They're going to do the speeches and that over the bog.
The Brits have the place all cordoned off near the Guildhall. They have barricades, tanks, Saracens, water cannons, the whole shooting gallery.
The place is swarming with soldiers and snipers. They're up on the roofs, and the walls, and the windows of derelict buildings. You can't move, but there's a gun on you.
All right, look, settle yourself. Folks, settle down.
Folks, settle yourself. Settle down, folks!
Who are you? How do I know that this is legit?
My name's Joe Mahan, and I was just down here to tell everyone. As you get closer, you'll hear them shouting it through the loudspeakers.
I'm Alana Burke, and there's stewards directing the march away from the roads to the Guildhall, because the Brits have it all blocked.
Right, so what's the deal then? Is it a sudden change because the Brits are everywhere, so we knew that?
You don't get it, there's riots. Down at Agro Corner and the barricades. The power troopers are intent on blocking any path to the Guildhall. There's no way through. It's madness down there. Water cans and rubber bullets are flying.
I'm scared the life out of you.
Look, there's thousands of people here, William. Many more up ahead.
Look, Free Dairy Corner makes more sense than the Guildhall if the Brits are set and not letting us through. It's better for the speeches there anyway. We chased them out of there before.
They know better than to come heavy-handed into the no-go area.
Yeah, right. Now listen up. Some of yous may have heard, don't worry about the changing route. With a Free Dairy Corner, we'll have a rally there. Don't engage with the Brits or the RUC as we pass. Okay? Okay, good. Willie, keep you rolling right. I'll make sure and get footage of them on the route with their rifles pointed down at the Civil Rights March. And stay safe.
So, Father, it's a military operation and a battleground, says you.
That hasn't got any better with the likes of you skulking in the shadows.
If it's a battleground, we need to keep eyes on it.
Well, as long as that's all you're doing. This is a non-violent march, peaceful resistance. Make sure it stays that way.
Aye, look what that's got you, eh? All the Queen's horses and all the Queen's men. Guns pointed, sights primed, doing the bidding of their nasty wee sectarian puppet masters up in Stormont. A well-lit fuse up in that hill
Look,
wouldn't go
all
amiss.
I'm saying
No! All I'm saying is this is what trying to negotiate with them bastards get you. Aggression and a military response for your peaceful protest. Abandoning begging for basic civil rights. Words wash off them. Peaceful protest gets you nowhere. This is the only language they understand.
Christ, put that...
No, Father. We wouldn't want to get your fingerprints on a gun now, would we? Give me your white feather hanky. Suppose you're right. We don't want to go dirty in your hanky and your conscience, do we?
Just put that thing away. For your own sake as much as everybody else's.
It'll be put away until it's needed. But make no mistake, we've got men where they need to be. Keeping a close eye on today's events. Not standing on podiums making speeches with paratroopers' rifles aimed at their heads. Nor
outside a mass making unpatriotic statements.
What do you mean?
I'm on about you. Digging us out, getting your 2 shillings worth? Aye, that'll make a real difference. While you broadcast your sympathy for 2 RUC oppressors successfully taken out by an IRA military operation. That's borderline treason, Father. Some got a closer sight to the gun for that kind of chat. Like I said, we have men, eyes and ears where they need to be.
Are you all right, fella? Do you know him?
Let's just say I've met him before.
Do you think he's... do you reckon they're going to make a show?
I pray to God they don't. The mood down there is charged enough.
You going back down?
Aye, I'll do what I can to see if I can chase some of these young ones home.
I'm going to head for Free Dairy. Watch yourself, fella.
Oh God. Move! Move!
Some of the younger ones were putting it up to the Brits. Others were taking shelter against walls. Some spluttering from CS gas inhalation. Others soaked through with water cannons. Tried to navigate my way through the riots. Tried to pull young ones as I passed. Shouted at them to leave the riots! Go home! Then in a back lane, just as the path opened up to the Rossville Flats, I saw that wee girl Alana. I saw Alana fall under the wheels of a Saracen. I saw a crowd rush towards her as it reversed again at speed over where she lay. I tried to rush over myself, but the powers cut off any chance I had. Through the confused noise, I heard her scream. Her shrill, terrified voice caused a strange kind of stillness to consume me. A realization of what could be lost, of what was at stake.
I
Jesus! Labourers! Labourers! They're burning labourers to avoid a house of Get yourselves home! Fucking hammer! In for freedom! Stay down! Next time! She's here! That's right! Are you trying to get yourself killed? Do you think these bastards need any encouragement to pull the trigger?
They're fucking cowards! Firing rubber bullets from behind their barricades!
Come on, get them the fuck! Get to a house, any house, just get away from this!
Watch out! Get the fucking bastard! Your fucking hands up! You fucking scumbag! Put the fuck on him, Mickey! What the fuck are you doing? Jesus Christ! The fucking scumbag! Fuck! Jesus, what the fuck? Your fucking hands off him, Willie! Willie, they beat the fuck out of him! Beat the fucking Willie!
Jesus! You fucking scumbag!
Get in!
Fuck you! Live bullets, Willies! They're fucking firing live bullets!
We've already started running some of their pigs and sergeants over the crowd to Roswell.
Jesus! They're off the leash, Willie, I'm telling you! They already shot a young fella, Damien Donaghy! He's only turned 15! And bending down to pick up a rubber bullet!
John Johnston was hit too.
How can they mistake them for anything other than innocent folk?
Where's Mr. Johnson and the wee boy Donaghy now?
Gone, Kilcourt. You were injured but living last time I checked.
Father O'Gara and the Knights of Malta are with them now.
You're expecting bother, but fuck me, this is a different playbook altogether. I've already spied that hardline commander milling about.
Not the same boy from the massacre in Belfast.
The one.
I don't like this at all, boys. Them rioters are taking their lives into their hands.
There's so many that broke off from the main march. They're clashing with the forest.
They'll not listen, Willie. Me and Father Daly was down trying to kill them.
There wasn't enough stewards to get all these shipped to Free Dairy Corner. Nor is there enough now to break this riot up.
The speaker on the back of the lorry wasn't working right. We tried to get them down Roswell, but they all came down William Street and made a beeline for the army barrier.
I'm telling you, there's going to be unholy murder.
Willie, did you get much on film?
As much as I could. I'm going to go behind the barrier and get a better shot of the Paris and young man Tim Rain's one-man sit-down protest.
I saw it. Father Daly tried to get him up, but he was having none of it. Don't you be going making yourself a target, especially not today, Willie. It's not working with these animals.
Large groups of these yabos continue to break away from the main march, attacking our position.
Say the word, sir, and we go in with teeth.
I've been requesting full release action, Lance Corporal, believe me. Signaller, request deployment again.
6-5 to my summary. 8-1 request deployment of subunits through Barrier 14. Over.
We need to pinch out these rioters before they escape onto the Rossville complex.
Agreed, sir.
Any further intel to offer, Lance Corporal?
The number of these hooligans is swelling in and around Barriers 14 and 15. There's bound to be bigger players among them. We don't want to lose the upper hand, sir.
That won't happen, believe me. We have shooters deployed in houses along William Street, others covering this Chamberlain exit, and the Royal Green Jackets in full riot gear assisting with holding all barriers.
Sir, is there up to full speed as to the situation on the ground?
Brigadier McClellan. Yes, he's aware. And he knows I've ordered support company move from its base in the Clarence Avenue area. There are both mortar and machine gun platoons in 6 mobile units. It's plenty of firepower to make these bogwogs yelp. When the word comes in, we all go through the barriers. Then we'll see what's what.
We're chomping at the bit, sir.
As am I, Lance Corporal, but the Brigadier has his own reasons for delaying us. His orders call for clear separation between the hooligan element and those that just march. But if we delay much longer, we'll lose our window.
They're all fucking scum. Pardon the language, sir.
My sentiments entirely, Lance Corporal. Language and all.
Sir, urgent message from Zero, sir. Engagement has been authorized.
Engage one para. Keep cover and your wits about you for enemy assault. Eyes on the makeshift barricade.
Fully on it, sir.
We have observation posts in elevated positions also.
Cover should be needed, sir.
Charlie posts is sniper positions trained on this area. We have cover and fire from the walls, Nailers Row, and prominent rooftop positions.
Time to hit and hit hard then! Engage!
Mr. Doherty!
Get the fuck! We need to get
Mr.
home.
Doherty, you were talking about no cracking. The Brits are fucking everywhere. Snipers on top of the sorting office. And the grounds of the church. Everywhere you look, there's a gun looking back at you.
Right in every fucking looking granny!
Some with red berets sticking out like big rotten strawberries.
Well, if you're close enough to see their berets, you're close enough to see their rifles.
Seen them, surely? Poking out from behind the sheets of corrugated iron.
Well, that's too close. Will you start wising up on bare heat?
What time's it now?
Just going on the 5 to 4.
Things ahead. This car's getting out of hand.
You already looked in. How did you get?
There's no amount of Brits around me, Mr. Doherty. Derek's fucking answer to Steve McQueen of the Great Escape. Get going.
There was 2 shots. That's right. Including a fella younger than you, so will you start wising up and get yourselves home?
That's really what I did. Not as we left them, but warning enough for assault.
Right, that's me out the bricks away up that hill.
Jackie, wait
I'm
there.
going to go a wee bit closer and get a better shot of the Paris.
Keep half a wit about you, William. Go no further.
There's more real bullets! Christ in heaven, they're trying to slaughter us! They're fighting! All right, did you see him?
In the name of God, fight cover!
Joe! What the fuck is going on? Fucking animals! I know they did. Bastards! You dirty murderers! Bastards!
You alright?
The world will hear what you've done this day! You alright? Get down! Get down!
I can't do this anymore.
You think the IRA would show us mercy? You think their gunmen haven't been taking pot shots at us?
But those boys at the barricade? Those men shot in the back!
You're either with us or against us. And if you're against us, I'll fucking take you out right here and now. So which is it to be?
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Then let's get after these Irish bobos and address me by my rank, you cowardly fucking weasel!
Yes, Lord Corporal!
Well, if it isn't the priest's wingman.
You've gunned down innocent people. People with their hands in the air.
Makes for a better target. But your red hearts are even better.
Are you mad?
Just off the fucking leash.
There's bodies on the street. Murder in the eyes of the soldiers I see. On this wasteland, a rubble barricade. Dreams of childhood pale. These young men fade. On this wasteland, on these streets, I can't believe what I see. Blood flows, God knows I'm breaking now. Screaming now surrounds and takes me down. All hell, it breaks and shakes this ground. I can't conceive that it's real, that they steal these young lives with such zeal. Jerry, Jerry. I'm sorry, Mommy. I'm sorry, Mommy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mommy. I'm sorry.
barbarism followed atrocity. Inhumanity followed brutality. Many witnessed soldiers throw the dead and injured into Saracens like lumps of meat gone to the abattoir. The injured were thrown in with the dead. Bodies piled together. Alana Burke was forced to lie with the dead bodies, forced to smell the decaying blood. She and wee Joe Mahan were left on trolleys on hospital corridors, presumed dead. Only the tiny pained flicker of movement revealed they struggled for life still. The living wounded escaped with their lives. But for them, as with many witnesses, trauma and suffering became a constant companion. Many were tortured by the unforgiven burden of survivor's guilt.
It's all right. I'll tell his mother.
Some were broken by the sheer horror of their experiences. Some died way before their time. In whatever form it came, Bloody Sunday extracted a heavy and terrible price. But in the middle of it all, there were acts of courage and heroism.
Get to my wind, my wind, Jesus Christ, my wind. No. Ah, Jesus, no! Please.
Stay down!
Please don't kill me.
Don't move!
Please, do not take my life. Please.
Don't move! Don't move your fucking hands!
Please.
I told you not to move!
I'm a widow.
You move your hands one more time!
I have 14 children, please. I am a widow. Please do not murder me, please. My poor children need me, please. In the name of Christ, do not murder me and orphan my children. Please.
Stop talking at me! You people can't be trusted. Even on your knees, begging for mercy. Lie down!
I beg. But not for myself. For my children. For our sons and daughters. And whether you realize it or not, to ease the weight that you will now carry on into life.
Wait. What weight?
The weight of shame. The weight of guilt. You'll feel it gather on you. I can see it in your eyes. I can see the bodies that have fallen, and I can see them burning in your eyes.
Our orders were to take back the streets, to take back law and
You
order.
murdered innocent men and boys. Boys on the doorstep of their adult life. You shoot me and others as we run from the brutality of your monstrous guns. Is that your law and order?
Shut up. Shut up! The order came through to engage.
There is no peace for you in the shelter of orders. It is your hand that pulls the trigger. It is you who sets bullets flying as the innocent run. You
don't know anything about me. About this uniform.
Why have you come here to this land? Why do you bring killing upon my streets? Why do you murder my sons and daughters, spilling their blood on a white handkerchief? There is a wound in my side that threatens my life. But there is a deeper wound now infecting your You're somebody worried, somebody's son. did you come to this place, tearing families apart? Don't you understand what you have done? Do you know the pattern you create? You condemn generations to the shadow of the gun. You've designed and resigned a future to hate. You stand here with undrawn belly of man, adorned with your badges of honor and shame. You're a soldier of misfortune, blaming command without honor, without grace. In this murderous game.
Peggy! Oh, baby, Peggy. Are you here? Oh, God. Tom, help me. Peggy, I'm going to move you around.
How are we going to lift her?
Just help me. Here, this way. I'm sorry, Peggy, love. I know it hurts you. Come on. Okay, all right. And Tom, just whip me. Pull her back. Stop. That's okay. Now hold her, Tom. Hold her for me. You're right. It's okay, Peggy. That's all right. Here now. Got you. Tom, give me your coat. Give me your coat. Come on. I got you. Peggy. It's all right. It's okay. I know it's Father David. Put your filthy gun at me. Have you no shame?
Is she dead?
What's this? Guilt? Hollow concern? You asking this now with your cold lead in her body?
Is she dead?
No! She is not dead. I'm anointing all the fallen wherever they are found, in whatever condition they are found. Bleeding, frightened, the injured, the dying, and the dead. On barricades and courtyards and kitchens and alleyways and wastelands, in the name of God, in the presence of the British Army, in the presence of fire and guns, I'm anointing them all, commending them all to the mercy of Christ. They need that mercy now. But you and your cowardly army need it more.
Don't you fucking dare.
Okay, all right.
Go on. Go back to your hawks and your puppet masters and go and tell them what you and your one para have done. Brave soldiers of the British Empire. Murderers.
We were commanded to secure the area, to engage all targets.
A target? A mother of 14 gunned down in a back lane under a Sunday sky!
Go back and tell them. And when you do, tell them the truth. Tell them about the blood of the innocents spilled on these streets. Tell them the truth. Only the truth.
My children, my poor children.
Okay, now Peggy, say this with me. Through this holy anointing, may the Lord in his love and mercy help me with the grace of the Holy Spirit.
Help me with grace.
Amen.
Father, am I dying? Father.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I am so very sorry for my sins.
I am so very sorry for mine.
Because they have offended you,
Because they have offended.
who are so good.
I'm so good.
And with your help, I will not sin again.
I will not sin again.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen.
Peristem sanctum unctionem, et suum pisum and misericordiam, adivit de Dominus gratia spiritus sancti. Amen.
My wings, oh my wings.
No, you're too strong for that, Peggy. You've too much to do. You'll not die here, not today. Right?
Father, if I die, you look after my wings. You minister to them. Because there's so much to protect them from.
The poor children of this forsaken city.
The city is not forsaken. Its children are not abandoned. The Spirit is with us. The mighty grace of God moves with us. Quick! Put her to cover. Just find a house, an open door. Just get her to cover now. That's it, that's it. Come on, Peggy, now. Breathe, Peggy. Help's on the way, love, all right? Take her now. Go! Tom. Tom, you must go to her children and sit with them.
There's so much devastation, so much death, so many dying and injured. What can we do? What use are we?
We must pray with the injured and the dying. Comfort the grieving as best we can.
Pray? Comfort? There's too much suffering in this world. There's too much darkness. It's too powerful. It's insurmountable. Would you look around you? Open your eyes.
All you have to do is to not let the darkness have a victory over you.
I, like you, have tended to the dead and the wounded, and all about us now, in us there is shock, disbelief, anguish, and all that's going to fade away. And I am fucking terrified of what threatens to replace it. Everything has changed. This is a different place now. What can we do to hold back the tide? I fear for the youth of this city when we bury the dead.
We will walk into whatever lies ahead as men of peace, with our calling about us. Here. Take this relic of the suffering of Christ. Help me bring his grace and comfort to those who need it now.
Father Daly,
Christ, give me the strength in the time ahead to do all I have to do.
Where's my mommy, mister?
what have we here? One little bright eyes who's still awake. Oh, and who's this?
Casey, and she doesn't like liars.
Well, I'm a priest.
Where's my mommy, Mr. Priest?
Your mommy had to go to hospital.
Why?
Well, she's going to see a nice doctor who's going to help her.
Why are all the grown-ups crying?
Well, your mommy's been hurt. But see us grown-ups, we're wild warriors.
When will she be back?
Well, maybe she will after a time. With God's grace, she will.
Casey's scared, and I'm scared too. I want my mommy.
Can I come in?
No,
Right.
I'm only joking.
Well, see your mommy. She wants you and Casey to try very, very hard to go to sleep. And then we'll all see what tomorrow brings.
I want my mommy.
Hush, my child, cry no tears. Angels guide you through your fears. Close your eyes, gentle sleep. Fortune waits with all your dreams. Though this night brings you pain, though your world has turned to rain, Mommy's love still is here, guiding light, true and clear. With love we wait.
But I saw family cry. They lit a candle, prayed tonight, and I heard grown-ups say, my mommy was hurt today. Why won't she come to me? I miss the way she kisses me. Mommy's arms hold me tight, that keep away the dark of night. I am
Hush, my child, cry no tears. Angels guide you through your fears. Close your eyes, little one. Find gentle sleep, let fear be gone. Though this night brings you pain, though your world has turned to rain, Mommy needs you to be strong. Hope will rise with the dawn. I am afraid.
Why are you stealing about you on your own?
You ask me this? Well, let me ask you, why did you turn your guns on innocent people?
I'm asking the questions. Why are you going in the dark on your own?
I am going to wash the blood of the innocent dead from my hands. Oh, that won't be so easy for you.
that got it deserved it.
I wouldn't, Padre! Just go about your business.
Oh, you read me wrong, soldier. I wish only to give you now that mark you must carry. Take it with you. All of you! You'll never have peace while it's upon you!
Keep walking, Father, or I'll leave you with a couple of marks of your own.
Whatever strength I have left is needed elsewhere, but I'll tell you this as I leave. The truth of the atrocity that you have visited upon this city, upon these people, will have no hiding place. You and your command can build walls of lies to hide it. You can bury it in false statements and reports. But the truth will find you. And it will wipe the sneers from your faces.
I had arranged to meet my love Elizabeth after the march at 8 o'clock under the Guildhall. She didn't know I had been murdered. She had heard of the day's events, but as was her way, she stayed away from news and uncertain whispers. She simply trusted I would be there. So she stood alone under the solemn sky of a grieving city, listening as the Guildhall clock marked out the time. Every minute after 8, her anxiety grew. My family knew she would be there waiting for me. My father set aside his own grief and went to her.
my love, my heart, this day, please return to me, my groom-to-be, my world, my destiny.
For every tragedy we have seen, there are 1,000 others. 1,000 tears to follow. This was one. This was mine. Tuesday was the day when the wakes of the victims were open to public grief. Huge crowds made their way from home to home, from sorrow to sorrow. That evening, 13 coffins were carried, one by one in poignant procession, from their home to St. Mary's Church in Craigan. Large crowds walked in each silent procession in the darkness of that chill evening. Street lamps and a winter moon illuminated the way to the church. St. Mary's kept its doors open the entire night. Crowds of people, young and old, gazed with haunted faces upon the 13 coffins of the dead laid out before the holy altar and the image of a suffering Christ upon the cross. When all others had gone, one man stood alone before the bodies, Father Edward Daly, a man and a priest who now felt the enormity of all that had unfolded.
Mercy seems so far distant this night. Deep into darkness I now gaze, and I may fear it may overwhelm. I ask for the strength to withstand it. I ask that I might find the words and the wisdom to minister to the people of this city whose hearts now ache with an unimaginable grief.
I search my faith, beg my Lord's way, lost in dark days how can I go? A cold wind has found its way here. Coffins lie under the cross here. A pale light from holy candles holds back despair and darkness. I see no grace. Beg my Lord's way through these dark days. His hand must guide. As I look upon this cross, I see the murder of innocence, cruelty, humiliation. I remember, Lord, how you were mocked in death by soldiers. These great iniquities perpetuate still. They surround me now. Innocence lies dead and dying again. We, the peacemakers, must rise to oppose this evil. They cannot kill us all. I beg the humility, the strength, and the grace to do all that lies before me. I hold to grace, seek my Lord's way through these dark days. His strength is mine.
Am I too late, Father?
You've time enough, John Johnston.
Though grief, shock, despair, and disbelief lay open like wounds across the city, some wasted no time in conducting their own twisted, self-serving version of events. A wise man once said, "A lie can travel halfway around the world while the truth is putting on its shoes." And that is exactly what was set into motion immediately after darkness fell upon the city, and continuing for years after. The wall of lies began to rise. Statements began to emerge from British sources denying any wrongdoing, even painting the victims as the aggressors.
There are wild claims that people were shot in the back. If they were shot in the front because they had a weapon or a nail bomb. What was undertaken here was a controlled engage and arrest operation. We were fired upon first and took up a defensive posture.
I fired a number of shots, yes, but only at gunmen and nail bombers who attacked me first. I pointed it all out on the map to the Royal Military Police, counting for every shot. I don't recall being at this rubble barricade where others were said to have died. I don't recall.
My men don't do indiscriminate shootings and killings, and we don't do conspiracies. In fact, in terms of the numbers killed, it is perfectly possible that those firing savagely and wildly at us from the other side actually killed and injured their own people?
Well, yes. Now that certain facts have emerged and bullet tracings point to my presence there, I do now recollect firing shots at the rubble barricade, but only because I had identified a bomber.
One para reacted with reasonable force in the face of a brutal assault by gunfire. We hit targets that were gunmen and bombers. That's the reality of this.
Even the dead had nail bombs in their pockets. This was a mob of killers, and...
Enough. Enough now. I have little stomach to hear these lies, or to have them heard again. Do you? Do you? We have had to endure so many falsely constructed accounts, cover-ups, and falsely constructed statements. A sham whitewashing that Father Daly called the second atrocity. They hid a chain of disgrace and responsibility that leads to places and names they don't want named. They built their wall of lies high. For across time it has always been inaction, injustice, and the silence of the witness that has allowed malice to overthrow mercy. Do you really think they could silence us? This city, this spirit, brick by brick, we pull it down, and each time more of the truth is set free. But there are other truths, powerful affirmations of our humanity, our light, the bravery, honor, selflessness, and sacrifice of ordinary people that day. Those such as Barney McGuigan, who moved from a place of cover so that Paddy Doherty would not die alone. An act of profound human kindness and selflessness that cost him his life. Others such as Alex Nash, who walked into no man's land so he could lay his hand upon his dying son. Or Father Daly, Tom O'Gara, and other priests such as Father Dennis Bradley and Father Tony Mulvey, who actively put themselves in harm's way to give solace to so many in their time of dying. The list of honor outweighs the army shame. People helping people in time of need. Neighbors, strangers, ambulance men, doctors, off-duty nurses, and the Knights of Malta responders. Those such as Evelyn Lafferty, who placed herself in the midst of paratrooper gunfire to save lives. And there are more still. Mothers, fathers, wives, sons, daughters who picked up the pieces of shattered lives and marched bravely into the future. Those who gathered their strength about them and campaigned for truth in the face of falsehoods, accusations, and fabrications. This city, our people, us, we have carried at a dignity about us and with us, then and now. Across the long years of injustice, we have carried it. We are elevated by it and through it. Across the long years of injustice, we have carried it. Step by step, we march with grace and dignity towards justice. This march goes on to remember what you did, to remember them. This march goes on. They say every human suffers two deaths. The first, when our last breath leaves our body. The second, when all memory of our time on this earth has passed.
The city where we fell holds our memory. Its walls, murals, the people that tell our stories and give meaning to our lives.
In that way, we have never left you. We are with you, folded inside the loving world around you. And this, there is truth.
Though injustice may seem insurmountable,
though the darkness may threaten to overwhelm us,
remember this.
There is a light in that darkness, and the darkness has never been able to overcome it.
Here there is light.